Hi everyone, welcome to a new project of mine. I hope this goes well. First of all, I am sorry for the lack of quality in this video already. This is literally being filmed by my phone, um, and again, the picture quality is not going to be great, but we'll see if this goes like I don't know. If this project goes well, we might upgrade our setup for this. Again, I am sorry. As you can see, we have a deck profile here, and it's a very special deck profile. I've been testing with this deck since it came out, and I've been having a lot of fun. Well, anyways, let's get right into things. So let me just zoom it real quick. And the deck we're going to show today is the one and only Kwiswain. Of course. I'm gonna be real quick with the ride line because we already know what the ride line does. Started is literally whatever floats your boat. You can pick whatever you feel like it. It's not restricted. So yeah, I picked Lutetia because Lutetia, she's best girl. The great one is Kwiswain. She is when she's rolled upon by Rosette, grade 2. You may reveal the top card of the deck, call it rear if it is a grade 2 or normal unit, and put it into hand if it isn't. She's good. I'm gonna talk about Musette real quick before I say something. Musette is the same thing as Kwiswain. I'm sorry, I'm getting over myself. Kwiswain, when she's ridden by a grade 3 with Kwiswain, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a grade 3 or less normal unit, you may call it. If it isn't, head it to head. The ride line is good. However, you can whiff. You can check some orders. I do run some orders here. You can check some normal triggers. Sorry. My brain is not braining. Some triggers, add them to hand because they are not normal units. You cannot call them. That's the only downfall of this ride line. I say once the new lyrical set from the Vines drops, you can change this with Sedna and Aqua. I think it's a better pick. Although you can also run the Wallista, but I don't like wasting a main deck slot for the order. Although it does give you enough soul to proc Yuikas along the game, but yeah, I do happen to run a card here to facilitate that. So enough talking about the ride line. Let's talk about the main card of the deck, which is Kwiswain. Kwiswain, zoom real quick. Kwiswain has 2 important abilities. Once is an act, once per turn, down lost 1, perform one of the following. If you have 4 or more units with different card names, you may perform 2. And if you have 5 or more, you perform all of them instead. So the skills that you can perform with this ability are 1, draw a card and energy charge 3. Second, choose one of your units and it gets power plus 15 gain till the end of the turn. And third, this unit gets power critical plus 1 till the end of the turn. Kwiswain is a good boss unit. She gives you resources by drawing your card, energy charge 3, which this deck does use a lot of energy. She powers up your board, 15k is huge, and she gives herself a critical, which will matter in the next skill. Then we have the auto on Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle, this unit detect a grade 3 or greater unit. Return all of your rear guards to hand. Choose up to 1 unit card from hand. Call it to rear until the end of turn. Increase or decrease. that unit's critical and power to match this unit. Let's just run towards the main deck cards, which are real quick 3 copies of the Persona Ride, because we really wanna Persona Ride every turn. It is kinda mandatory to Persona Ride. You feel the difference if you don't. Like, it is so huge. We have 2 Adelines. Adeline is basically my extender besides the Divine Skill turn. This is the Festival booster from last year, grade 3s that get power and shield if your opponent checked the trigger. And Adeline has a nice skill at the end of battle that this unit attacked while boosted. You may Soul Blast and choose one of the perform all of the following, which is choose one of your other rear guards in the same column as this unit and return it to hand. You may use this. This is basically a Yuika grade 3 on grade 3. Yeah, just huge. And the other one is to remove an over trigger from your drop. Choose up one unit with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from hand and auto. Again, this is the multi-attack besides the Divine Skill turn, but it's locked behind the removal of the over trigger. It's a nice combo to have if you ever wanted to try it out. Plus, it's a 10k shield if your opponent checked the trigger. Going to the other grade 3s, this is Rosane. Rosane is the card that I talked about earlier that puts us cards into soul. Check the top 2, one of them into hand, and put the rest on bottom once she attacks a grade 3 or greater Vanguard. So basically, she is a ODT unit in disguise. Just stack the bottom of your deck if you feel like it. So yeah, she's good. She's basically here just to give a soul for the Yuika procs. So yeah. The other one is another resource management card, which is Elvi. Also, she comes packed with another beautiful skill, which is on the front row rear guards. All of your rear guards with different card names, as this unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. What does Kwiswain do? Play units with different card names. So she's basically online. You see, Shiranui, Prison, and another removal decks cannot do anything unless they target this first. Yeah, that's basically the skill she has. That is not the best skill. The second skill, which is an odd it. Once this unit attacks hits a Vanguard, you may countercharge one, which does come up. Having a low column with pressure of an on it's kind of huge. That's basically why she's here. Plus the protection. For the Regalice piece, we're using Forbodol. I haven't had the need for Chalice nor the Lather. Depends on your locals, but I do like the Forbodol just to first have access. Have basically 2 copies of this and reuse this from drop once I use one or the other. That's basically why Forbodol is. Then we have one of the best creatures in the game, in the deck, which is Franchette. Franchette basically says once she's chosen by the effect of your grade 3 or greater Kwiswain, you may choose one of your Vanguards and it gets power plus 10k. Vanguard plus the 15k she gets from Kwiswain, she generates a lot of numbers. But that's not the best. I mean, it is the skill that was built for her into this deck, but that's not the skill we're looking for. It is the second one when this unit attacks. If you have 3 or more units with different card names, which you will most likely have throughout the game. This unit gets power plus 15k, so she's basically a 20k beater. 20k? No, a 13k beater on her own with Kwiswain skill. And at the end of that battle, if you have 4 or more units with different card names, you may choose up to one of your other rear guards and return it to hand. She's basically a free Yuika. The other one we're running is the Energy Cyclone Persia. I really haven't used the on place on rear guard skill to give plus 5k to a unit and then bounce it at the end of turn, because again it is Persona Ride locked, and I do happen to have better targets to place on my board besides her. She's basically here to be a discard from my ride deck and placed on the guarding circle to either counterblast 1 or Energy Blast 3 and draw a card. She's basically here to a hand cycle and facilitate our ride up. The other one we're running is 2 copies of Alshblunk. Again, she's literally here for the ride deck. She is basically for the ride up. You all know what she does. Once she's discarded from the ride deck, you may Soul Blast 1, put her on the bottom of the deck, draw 1, and when she's placed, if your Persona roll this turn, Counterblast 1, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets, until the end of turn, all of your front row units get power plus 5k. She just gives numbers to the board. The last grade 2 normal unit we're playing is Anis. Anis is basically our extender to build our boards, and she's a nice attacker. She's a 20k attacker. If you're attack grade 3 or greater unit and you have 4 or more units with different card names, and she is a on place, as if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kwiswain, you may counter blast 1 and Energy Blast 3. Look at top 5 cards of your deck, choose up 1 unit from among them with different card name from units on your Vanguard or rear guard and call to rear. She is basically a way to build board easily without wasting cards on your hand. We have here a defensive option, which is Vibrant Symphony. If an attack hits your Vanguard, this turn, choose one of your units being attacked, and it gets power plus 13k until the end of battle. I'm still testing this. I might up this to 2. I don't know. It just feels good in this format where things are in like truck. It's just great to have this in hand. We have 3 Yuikas, a 13k booster once your opponent's Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater, and at the end of battle this unit boosted a rear guard. You may Soul Blast 1, choose one of your boosted rear guards, and bounce it to reuse the on-play skills next turn. We have the best card in the game, which this is literally the best card restricted in the game. During the battle that this unit boosted, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kwiswain, she gets power plus 5k. So she's a 13k booster, boosting anything. But the good saucy skill, it's the second one, the auto, when she boosts a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kwiswain. If you have 4 or more cards with different names on your field, Energy Blast 3 until the end of that battle. When your opponent would call cards without Sentinel from hand to guardian circle, they must call 3 or more cards with different grades at the same time. It's kinda huge when you're forcing your opponent to call grade 2s and grade 3s that don't have basically don't have shield. I mean, the grade 2s do have 5k, but when you're forcing them to like, hey yo, PG check right here, my guy, it's kind of huge. It's kind of huge. We are running a few tech cards. I mean, not few, but we have Eileen and the Dolpiaris, OP race. Oh god. Eileen does say that when she boosts the rear, you may look at the top card of your deck and you may put it on top or bottom. And OP Ray says when this unit is placed on rear or guardian circle, I put a total of 2 cards from your right deck that was or in your right deck face up. Perform one of the following. If he was put on the rear guard, you may choose a card with the same name as your Vanguard from drop or soul and put it to hand. And on the Guardian Circle, he gets 15k. So he's a 20k shield plus a Persona Rights reuse. Is good in order to secure a trigger on top or stacking the bottom of your deck. She's nice. I haven't had a game where she was like tremendous, but she's good. We have an Elementaria proxy card and 3 other perfect cards with all different names in case you need to call one to the field to fulfill Kwiswain conditions. We have basically 8 crits. Most of them are different names. You may run the into soul crits if you need. I haven't had the need for it, but at least use a bunch of them with different names. I'm just too lazy to go fetch the other ones. This will be the draw triggers. They are proxy for the skill ones, the plus 5k. You may run fronts. Just for extra shield. Again, I haven't had the need for it, but the draws are just good in order to see the pieces for your deck. 4 heals with different card names, just to again fulfill the condition if needed for Kwiswain, since you can bounce them, and the over trigger. You can run the over trigger. It's an option you have. You can run the new ones from the festival booster from this year's 2024. Although I prefer the purple over trigger, because you may, basically calling a card from healing a card from damage and calling a card for an extra attack from your hand. But the lyrical over trigger is just that sack. Once you pull it, once you check it on the first turn, it is a powerhouse. Because the longer you go throughout the deck, or throughout the game without seeing this, the worse it gets. Besides the purple one, which is the earlier you see it, the worse it is. So yeah, you may run this or the blue over trigger if you need to. If you happen to have discarded a key piece for your combos. So yeah, this is the Kwiswain deck profile. Again, I'm sorry for the butchering. I'm sorry for the quality of the video. Again, it's just a thing that I wanted to do in order to archive some of my decks. And I don't know. We'll probably do some more of this. So yeah, if you happen to have more suggestions, I don't know, as well as opinions on the deck, feel free to share. And yeah, this has been the deck profile. I hope you liked it. So, ciao.